This is the Awkward GM Corbin, and today is the first real session of my Werewolf the Forsaken game. Last where we left off, the players were basically investigating these happy pills that some drug dealers were peddling nearby their den, their domain. Right now, I've just got the map that I've prepared for if and when they go into this drug dealer's den. As you can see, there are a couple of some of these are NPCs that are going to be in there. I've got a couple more in here, some who are just like using the bathroom, some are hanging out in the back room, and additionally I've got some spirits who are hiding around in the GM layer of the map that my players can't see. I can see, and I can say, hey, these creatures are sort of interfering with how the combat goes. Most of these only have like a possession manifestation, so they might possess someone who has the open condition on them, like these addicts who might have a little bit of too many happy pills. It's not going to change much mechanically, but it'll give players a little bit more flavor as something really weird is going on. That being said, I do have some other things that I've prepared. I might show them off after the fact. I do have stat blocks for all of these characters. Most of them I took from the Deviant, the Renegades, and the Chronicles of Darkness core book. I did create the stat blocks, however, for the spirits and for the claimed, who is going to be this creepy smiley face person right here. Thank you to the movie Smile for giving me that token. Anyway, we're going to cut to an ad break, and I'll be right back. Special thanks to our patrons Echo B, The Bohemian, Cookie T, Void Tech M, Tori X, and Stephen A. Okay, so game just happened. I'm going to do a quick rundown of all the things that did occur. Hopefully it's not too long, and hopefully I can get through to it pretty quickly. First up, I did have them they did end up in the drug den, but it took them a while. They did kill 2 of the drug dealers as they were leaving outside, hence why they're over here. But everyone in here is sort of like out of their mind and high on drugs, that they're not really paying attention to gunshots that happened outside. It was only 1 gunshot, so it could have been car backfiring. Who knows? The thing that I did notice when I did combat, though, was I have here the Brood of Joy, of Addictive Joy spirits, and I have some notes here, but let's see. I have the drug dealers using this stat block from the book. I did notice they were a little bit tough because they are hitmen, so they're rolling like 7 dice and their defense is 7. I dialed it back a bit so that their defense was actually 4 and their health was only 5. That made it so that they could kill them feasibly in some of their forms pretty quickly. Also, it made it so that their defense wasn't so high that they were rolling chance dice to hit against these guys. I do know that in Garu form, you can ignore defense almost completely, except for either your dex or your wits. You can't apply athletics to it, but my players didn't know that, and it would have been for dexterity anyway. I don't know. Whatever. But let's go to my session notes. They opened up the happy pill. They found a spirit that was inside of there. It was a very small one, a little insect, and it sort of just floated away. Their totem told them, oh, it looks like they're using these pills to get people susceptible for possession. They decided that they were going to do a sacred hunt. They weren't sure which one of their tribes that they were going to use to be the rite master for the sacred hunt, because I allowed them to choose who would run the rite, even though none of them actually really know the rite. I think the player who's currently on hiatus, who just gave birth, congrats, by the way. What's happened is they chose between either they can attack ephemerals, or they can see the strength of the gauntlet, or they could see possessed creatures. They decided to go with, and they were flip-flopping between 2 of them. They decided to go with strength of the gauntlet, which doesn't really work well for claimed or spirits because they don't usually affect the strength of the gauntlet. That's something for hosts that eat or strengthen the gauntlet, or affect the nature of the gauntlet. But they did that. They did, as part of the Sacred Hunt, say that it was the people who are distributing the pills and making them. I said that it's a broad category, so it's going to include the drug dealers who are selling them. They're werewolf players right now, but they were changeling players. They really are sad that loopholes are gone, because they really like not having to spend glamour or essence, in this case, on abilities, but now they do. They searched the neighborhood. They discovered that there was a nightclub nearby, and it seemed to be sort of like a nexus point of joy. They just thought, hey, maybe people are selling drugs there. There's some joy spirits around there. We'll check it out. Managed to get in. The bar's gauntlet strength was lower, and I'm saying that's going to be due to the foxes, but they don't know that yet. They did try to use the Shadow Whispers ability to talk to one of the spirits, not realizing that Shadow Whispers can be used on any object, not just spirits who are awakened. You actually can't use it on awakened spirits, you have to use it on dormant spirits. Sad, but that's what happened. They decided not to use that ability. They chased a drug dealer out of the bar. He tried to escape through a back window, ended up cornering him in an alley. Adrian decided to switch into wolf form to chase him down, which was insane because he rolled 14 dice on the roll because he uses speed as a chase stat and got an exceptional success. That allowed him to capture the drug dealer, and it gave time for Melanie to question him and to interrogate him, and they were able to get the location of the drug den. That's when Melanie used the slip away facet of the new moon gifts for Araka to sort of like blend into the surroundings. People don't really notice her. They're all sort of mostly drugged out of their minds, so they're not really caring if someone new comes in. That being said, the claim that runs the building would probably care. She looked through the door, saw the claimed in there, saw this creepy woman with a smile on her face, making the pills for some drug dealers, sending them on their way, and she's like, okay, I'm just gonna wait till they leave, and then I'm gonna go interrogate the woman, or talk to the woman. Dropped a die. However, they were going straight towards Adrian, who was at the front door waiting for the Araka to do their stealth stuff, and that's when the fight broke out. So the fight broke out. Adrian tried to take a guy's gun, failed to do it. The guy hit him over the head. That healed up pretty quickly because Werewolf regen is at return, and he regens one bashing each turn. They had their cell phones on, which allowed them to communicate to each other and know what was going on. It's also the reason why they thought Adrian was a narc, because when they searched him, they found his phone was on to an active call, and it was transmitting everything they were saying. So they thought he was with the police or a private investigator. Melanie went from over here on the left, all the way down to here, which I know I realize I didn't point this, but they killed these two guys right here. Melanie went out, bashed one of the guys in the head, didn't do much damage. That's when Adrian decided to go into Garu form, killed one of them with the down and dirty combat rules. Melanie decided to attack the other guy with a flanking attack to lower his defense. It didn't really work, but it still lowered his defense a little bit. And then Adrian bit off the ear of the other guy, or half of the head of the other guy, and spat out the flesh, so he didn't get the harmony breaking point. They hid the bodies, and now they're deciding to wait a day or so to come back, because they really weren't prepared for fighting at the moment. They realize now that they might have bit more than they can chew. However, if they go into Garu form and just kill everyone in here, they're probably gonna chew through a lot of mortals that are currently in here. They did cause one of the guys to go into lunacy, so I gave them a beat for that. Their XP is doing pretty well. I'm not going to show it to you because that has their real names in it. So we're all good. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.